Solom Hebrew royal family. Welcome to Hebrew History Channel.
It's your sister Rayah back for another episode taken from our sacred text written by our prophets of old.
Our prophets were handpicked by the MOST HIGH YAHUAH to record the journeys, births, miraculous triumphs and defeats of his chosen people. His prophets write of gripping tales of treachery, betrayal, love, and faith. The faith and love for their ALOAH is tested at every turn. The adversaries of the children of Jacob are used to stop the plan of redemption for Yashar'al. Let's begin. Solom and Baruch.
Abram's descendants are met with traps, deception, and wars on every side. Yet the Most High always steps in and saves his people from total annihilation. The adversaries of Yahuwah hate him and his people due to his love and protection and favor shown to his royal family, the Hebrews. In an age swallowed by time, where wind-scoured sand dunes met the sapphire breath of the Red Sea, and fertile agricultural lands and lush riverlands of the Congo that reached westward toward the Ethiopian Ocean, reigned the children of Yashar'al. They bore the weight of a kingdom blessed by the Most High Yahuwah and chosen to protect a sacred royal legacy. Their banners stitched the horizon. Their songs rose at dusk like smoke. A people chosen with a destiny, bound to a covenant with the Most High Yahuwah. This was an age where adventure hung heavy in the air, a tension you could taste at the edge of every market, in the hush before a caravan set off, in the cadence of a soldier's march. Danger shadowed triumph. Rival clans plotted at moonrise. Exile and famine whispered from distant valleys. And the quiet, consuming power of fate threaded through family hearths. It is said that the destinies of all nations hung in the balance, and the prophets, guided by divine inspiration, chronicled epic journeys and miraculous events that would shape history for generations to come. Come with me, then, back to a moment when prophecy and ambition collided, when mothers wept for sons who would be kings, and when a single choice in a dim chamber would echo across generations. The story of Rebeqqa and the birth of her twins begins here.
Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. Keturah bore Abraham 5 sons. Read in Jasher 25:1. Abraham had many children and grandchildren with the women of Canaan. Genesis 25:1-4. Genesis 25:6. Abraham also had concubines that bore him sons and daughters as well from the land of Canaan. So Abraham had many sons and daughters, just as the Most High had promised him. Genesis 26:4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. But the covenant was with Yitzhak only. Genesis 25:5-6. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Yitzhak. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts, and sent them away from Yitzhak his son, while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. Abraham lived in the east country where the sons of Ham the Canaanites lived, not in the north country where the Japhites dwelled. Genesis 25:8. Then Abraham gave up the Ruach. Abraham lived 175 years before he passed. Jubilees 23, 4-10. While Yaakov laid in the arms of his ailing grandfather Abraham, he blessed Yaakov and perished while Yaakov was asleep. When Yaakov awoke to find Abraham cold as ice, he ran to get his mother Rebeqqa, and she went to Isaac, her husband, to tell him of his father. Abraham had perished, and Isaac went with a lamp into his father's tent and found Abraham had perished. Isaac fell on his father's face, wept, and kissed him, and the household bewailed him, as Ishmael also came and wept alongside his brother Isaac. Isaac and Ishmael buried Abraham in the double cave by Sarah. The whole household and Abraham's children mourned for 40 days, including Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, and the sons of Keturah. And when the mourning period ended, Abraham was remembered as having lived 3 jubilees and 4 weeks of years, that is 175 years, and perished old and full of days. For Abraham was perfect in all his deeds with Yahuwah, and well-pleasing in righteousness all the days of his life. And behold, he did not complete 4 jubilees in his life. Yashar'al 26:29-34. And it was at that time that Abraham perished, in the 15th year of the life of Yaakov and Esau, the sons of Isaac. And all the days of Abraham were 175 years. And he passed and was gathered to his people in good old age, old and satisfied with days. And Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him. And when the inhabitants of Canaan heard that Abraham was deceased, they all came with their kings and princes and all their men to bury Abraham, and all the inhabitants of the land of Haran, and all the families of the house of Abraham, and all the princes and grandees and the sons of Abraham. By the concubines, all came when they heard of Abraham's passing, and they requited Abraham's kindness, and comforted Isaac his son. And they buried Abraham in the cave which he bought from Ephron the Hittite and his children for the possession of a burial place. And all the inhabitants of Canaan, and all those who had known Abraham, wept for Abraham a whole year, and men and women mourned over him. And all the little children, and all the inhabitants of the land, wept on account of Abraham. For Abraham had been good to them all, and because he had been upright with Yahuwah and men. Side note, the area of the current Sahara Desert was named after Sarah, the daughter of Haran, or sub-Saharan desert. Abraham and Sarah and their descendants traveled this land. Genesis 25:9-10. After Abraham perished, his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, the field Abraham had bought from Ephron the Hittite near Mamre, where Sarah was also buried. After Abraham perished, Yahuwah blessed Isaac, and he settled by Well-Bear Lakai Roi. Ishmael, son of Hagar, had 12 sons. Genesis 25:17-18. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and perished, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Ashurah, and he died in the presence of all his brethren. So the children of Yashmar'al dwelt near Mitzrayim, aka Egypt, or southern Egypt, which they named Arabia. Strong 6152, Arab, desert, plateau, steppe, or steppe dwellers. 1 Kings 10:50. Genesis 25:19. List the generations of Yitzhak. The text reveals that Yitzhak was 40 years old when he married Rebeqqa, the daughter of Bethuel and the sister of Laban. Yashar 25:28. And Rebeqqa, the daughter of Bethuel, the wife of Abraham's son Yitzhak, was barren in those days. She had no offspring, and Yitzhak dwelt with his father in the land of Canaan. And Yahuwah was with Yitzhak. And Arpachshad, the son of Shem, the son of Noah, perished in those days, in the 48th year of the life of Yitzhak. And all the days that Arpachshad lived were 438 years, and he perished. Now Rebeqqa was barren, and Yitzhak entreated Yahuwah for his woman to bear children. And the Most High was entreated of him, and Rebeqqa, his wife, conceived. Genesis 25:22-24. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. In one womb, 2 destinies are born. Rebeqqa's labor is a storm of pain and purpose interwoven. 2 tiny bodies, 2 destinies. One quiet, resilient, and cunning. The other fiery, sinful, and restless. Even before they open their eyes, an enmity is formed. A hand clasps and grasping a heel, while a mother's heart is split between love and prophecy. From that cramped, sacred beginning, a birthright rivalry sparks that will outlive lifetimes. Sibling against sibling, tribe against tribe. A promise reshaping borders and bequest. Their names will be spoken on tongues around hearths, in prayers and in wars, symbols of blessing and of curses, of cunning and covenant. This is an ancient story of how a single birth can set the course of many nations, of how a birthright decision, ancient vows, and the brittle thread of destiny weave the fabric of history. It begins not with kings or battles, but with a woman in travail and the fragile hope that 2 infants can carry the weight of a turbulent future. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah, and glory to our Hamashiach, Yahusha our King. Be sure to catch the next episode of Yaakov vs. Esau, the battle for the birthright, coming soon. Solom, thank you for watching.